6 members and associates of the OTB criminal street gang have been charged in a federal indictment. A federal grand jury charged members and associates with various crimes, including attempted murder in aid of racketeering, using, carrying, and discharging a firearm during and in relation to a crime of violence, felon in possession of a firearm, drug user in possession of a firearm, possession of a firearm with an obliterated serial number, and witness tampering. In total, 6 members and associates of OTB, a Des Moines-based street gang, have been charged with 4 separate shootings against rival gang members that occurred between May 2020 and December 2020. 6 other members of the OTB street gang were previously charged with federal drug and firearms violations. Acting United States Attorney Richard D. Westphal of the Southern District of Iowa, as well as Des Moines Police Department Chief Dana Wingert, made the announcement. All members of this community deserve to live free from the fear of being victimized by the individual and repeated acts of violence by these criminal gangs and their rivals, said Westphal. We will continue to make community safety one of our highest priorities, and work hand in hand with our local law enforcement and prosecution partners to aggressively prosecute those individuals who are the primary drivers of violent crime. Wingert stated, "This is another example of local and federal partners working collectively to actively pursue the most violent criminals in our community. In recent years, this continuous pursuit has resulted in numerous significant arrests and prosecutions, the impact of which cannot be overstated. The feeling of safety in your neighborhood is a basic necessity that we are committed to protecting. Those who compromise the quality of life for our citizens through violent crime should be prepared for a similar outcome to this most recent indictment. As partners, we remain vigilant in this effort." It is alleged in the indictment the OTB street gang is a criminal enterprise that engaged in racketeering activity, namely offenses involving controlled substances and acts involving murder. The OTB street gang and its members are alleged to have preserved and protected the profits of the gang through the threatened or physical use of violence and kept victims and witnesses in fear of the street gang through these threats of violence. In addition, it is alleged the OTB street gang provided support to gang members who were incarcerated for gang-related activities, and retaliated against acts of violence perpetrated against the street gang, including acts of violence against rival gangs known as the C Block and C Block affiliated street gangs. The OTB street gang allegedly operated and conducted their affairs through a series of rules and policies, and initiated new members through the practice of having them discharge a firearm at, and hit, another person. It is alleged that members and associates of the OTB street gang managed the procurement, transfer, use, concealment, and disposal of firearms to protect gang-related personnel and operations, and to deter, eliminate, and retaliate against other rival street gangs. It is alleged that members agreed to distribute drugs, recruited juveniles to commit acts for the gang's benefit, and agreed or conspired to commit acts of violence, including acts involving murder, against rival gangs. The charges in the indictment carry maximum penalties of between 10 years and life imprisonment. If convicted, the court must impose reasonable sentences under federal sentencing statutes and the advisory U.S. sentencing guidelines. There is no parole in the federal court system. The public is reminded that charges contain only accusations and are not evidence of guilt. The defendants are presumed innocent and entitled to a fair trial at which the government has the burden of proving guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. The investigation was conducted by the Des Moines Police Department, Crimes Against Persons and Intelligence Sections. The case is being prosecuted by the United States Attorney's Office for the Southern District of Iowa, with assistance from the Polk County Attorney's Office, as part of Project Safe Neighborhoods, a program bringing together all levels of law enforcement and the communities they serve to reduce violent crime and make our neighborhood safer for everyone.